Hello and welcome to the Friend Leigh Show. I am your host and friend, Leigh. Okay, so I am so excited for tonight. If you're new to the show, I'll quickly tell you how it works. So we live broadcast this show through Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch every Wednesday night at 7:30 Eastern or 6:30 Central, whatever the equivalent is for you. And oh, let me just move this a little bit closer. Okay, that was probably annoying for you if you were just listening to this in the audio. Anyway, we record live every Wednesday, and when you have a comment on any of those platforms, you become a part of the show. And what we do is we have a series every month around a theme. And this theme this month is all about the habit of happiness. And then each week we look at that theme through the lens of one of the pillars of the happy framework. And so the last Friday of every month, unless there's the last Wednesday of every month, unless there's 5 weeks in that month, we will be talking about youthfulness. And youthfulness is super important for our happiness, for our longevity, for combating stress, for moving through stress. And some people think that, youthfulness is something that when I have time, then I get to play. But the fact of the matter is when you come at life with a youthful spirit, you can actually handle life a lot easier. And so that's why we talk about it in the happy framework, and we talk about it on the show every single month. So what I'm going to do first, I'm hoping that you guys can hear me. It looks like everything is set up right. Oh, here we go. So Pops is here and he says, I'm here and your earrings match your glasses wonderfully. Well, thank you so much. Actually, it's funny that you bring up the glasses. I am in the market for some new ones and I'm super excited. I just can't narrow it down. There's a couple different frames that I want. So I can't wait to show you. I'm going to buy them in the next week or so. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, you'll be able to see them. Okay, and Patrick is here and he says, but then you can't tell kids to get off your lawn. You're right. You're right. That is a very old man way of being. I mean, unless you laugh after you say it, knowing that you sound like an old man, then I guess it's kind of like childlike spirit. So what I'm going to do first, so you can see that that's how that works, that when you're part of the show and you comment live, if you comment in the replay, obviously you're not going to be part of the show, but next week you can come by and come during the broadcast hours, so which are 7:30 to 8 on Wednesdays. But I made a couple notes because what I want to do is, for those of you that are listening to us in the audio version, once I start becoming like more conversational with the comments, it bounces a little bit and it is kind of harder to hear in the audio. Some people say that they love it though. I've got a couple people that tell me all the time that they listen to it every Thursday morning. So so it works for them. Anyway, so here are a couple of things that I wanted to kind of talk about. The big thing is that youthfulness has nothing to do with your age, right? It has everything to do with your mindset. And so it doesn't matter how old you are, you can choose to create a habit of youthfulness and coming at it, feeling like coming at life, feeling more energized, more open, really more alive. And one of the things is that when we get older, so my birthday is next week, and it's really easy to like fall into hitting different milestones and feeling like, oh gosh, now I'm like this old. And you kind of, Mike was saying this to me the other day. He was saying, there was this guy walking by our condo and he was like, just your typical, like almost like stereotypical older man, like button down shirt. And like, it just was very interesting that he brought it up because he was like, that guy doesn't look like he lives that way, but he's like totally dressing the part of an old man. And I don't think we need to do that. Like, I think we need to just, however we feel, or however, I shouldn't say that, not how we feel, how we want to feel, that's how we should be dressing. That's how we should be showing up, or could be, not should be. And so youthfulness, when we're talking about it, we're not just talking about play and fun, but we're also talking about coming at things more curious. We're talking about coming at things kind of with like a beginner's mindset, where it's like, sometimes when we go and try to learn new things, because we have so much experience behind us, we will say, oh, I already know this. Oh, I already know that. And children are just sponges. They just lap everything up as if it's the first time that they've learned it, usually because it is. And if we can do that as adults, we'll learn a lot quicker, because we won't have this preset idea of the way things should be, and we'll be able to come at things a little bit more open. And the youthfulness, when you're talking about play and you're talking about that, I've talked about it inside of our circle. And I've also talked about it inside, we had our 22-day habit of happiness practice. And one of the big things is, with anything, when we're making it a habit, we need to be making things easy for us to be able to do. And we talk about our brain all the time, about the reticular activating system. It's my favorite part of the brain, that it's a filtering system, that it's constantly filtering out the world. So then you're only seeing what you focus on. And if you can start focusing on, I want to come at things a little bit more softer. I want to come at things a little bit more joyfully. I want to, however you want to look at life, you'll be able to find opportunities to be able to do that. One of the gals in our circle during the mastermind, she was saying, the youthfulness part, I'm not even really scheduling anymore. She was scheduling like things to do to feel more youthful. And she says, and now that I've been focusing on it, I'm seeing more opportunities to be able to slow down and just kind of be more in the moment. And she talks about being in the moment feels like youthfulness. And so that's another kind of piece of it. And so a couple of the things, we were in book club, we're talking about Atomic Habits, and there's 4 rules there, or 4, I think they call them rules. And what you do is you make it obvious, you make it attractive, you make it easy, and you make it satisfying. And so when we're talking about youthfulness, when you want to make it obvious, you want to notice moments when you feel that life gets too serious, and create that trigger to add lightness. So it's really kind of simple, that like, it's not simple, but because you need like a trigger, you need something that's going to like activate you to do this habit. Okay. And so if you can start becoming aware of that heightened feeling, then you're going to be able to step in and say, okay, you know what? This is where I get to be a little bit lighter, or a little bit more playful. I did that in the car ride here because I was stuck behind somebody that was going 38 kilometers in a 50. And in Canada, when you're driving, if the speed limit is 50, drive 60. You will not get a ticket unless you're over 64. Okay. They were going like 38, and for the entire time, and I couldn't cross and all that. And I could feel that I was starting to get really elevated, because I was like, I'm going to miss the podcast. I'm going to be late. And when I felt that, I thought, you know what? This is the time that I get to, it's not me getting upset, is not going to speed him along any. And so I took that trigger and said, okay, this is my chance to be a little bit more youthful. And it was top of mind because we were going to be talking about it today. So it obviously made it a little bit easier. And so I put the music on, and I put my my jams on, and I just started dancing and singing in the car. And we still went 38, almost like, I think we were probably doing like 15 blocks, going that slow. But it became, instead of annoying, it became a lot easier and lighter and more youthful. The other thing is that when we talk about making it attractive, you want to connect joy and happiness and fun with the things that you're already doing. So let's say that you want to be adding a little bit of youthfulness. You can create something that, like, okay, I cook dinner every night, but I want to make it a little bit more fun. And so put music on in the kitchen. And so while you're cooking, you can be dancing. You might not go into full on groove, but at least you're feeling a little bit more happy and joyful and a little bit more young at heart while you're cooking, instead of sitting there just grinding, getting it done, right? You've got a shower. When you shower, you could put music on and you could sing, or you could just sing in the shower to whatever song comes to your mind. You don't even need a radio. But those are types of things that you can be doing to make it more attractive. Make the things that you have to do, the habits that you have already, and you can add that usefulness piece into it. Making it easy. So sometimes when we're talking about play, for instance, people are like, I don't have the time to do that. Like, I wish, if you knew what my life looked like, then, you know, if you can make it that it's just easy, that, like, I'm just going to play for like 2 minutes, or I'm going to just play while I'm in the car. So, like, I'm going to sing in the car. I'm going to sing in the shower. Just make it easy. It doesn't have to be, okay, I've got to like set up a whole table where I can do a puzzle and I got to make it into this big thing. Make it easy. And then the last part is making it satisfying. And so actually celebrating your playful moments, you could like track your smiles per day, or you could go on Facebook and you could talk about your youthfulness. If you guys saw the live I did yesterday, I was walking and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, so I hit my health pillar. I hit my partnership pillar because I was talking to a girlfriend while I was walking. And I was hitting all the pillars, and I was like, the only one I didn't do is youthfulness. And in that moment, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to skip. And so I started skipping down the trail, and it made me laugh. It turned into this super fun thing. And just celebrating that and like sharing it with you guys while I was on the live, that was cool. So you could go on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you are, and you could just share your youthful pieces. So then you can start enjoying it and giving other people permission to do it as well. So let's see, we're already halfway through. So let's see if we've got anything. Is this not working? Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. So we've got a couple things here. Hello, hello. Okay, so Pop says, my side note is that after my second therapy session, I'm finding it less stressful than I thought. Amazing. That's so good. Are you still going weekly? That is really, really cool. And Pop says, happy early birthday. Thank you so much. And next week when we meet, I will still be 44 years old for one day. So, and then my birthday is on Thursday. Okay, so then Patrick says, it's not the years, it's the miles, Indiana Jones. I love that he has to put in there what movie it comes from, because he always teases me I don't watch very many movies. Patrick says, nothing ages you more than waiting for life to happen. Where did you just make up that quote? Oh my gosh, nothing ages you more than waiting for life to happen. Yes, that is awesome. And if that comes from a movie or some other popular quote, I've never heard it. So I absolutely love it, and I will credit you for it. Pop says, yes, scheduled next week. Awesome. Good job. That's so exciting. Okay. And then great quote, Patrick. So Patrick, you did. He says, yeah. So I'm assuming you said that you just made that up. Oh my gosh. That's so awesome. The way your mind works, it's so fascinating. You really should write a book. Wink, wink. Okay. So that is absolutely amazing. I love that. We're going to just pull that up one more time, and then we're going to get into our lightning round where we're going to do questions. If you're new, what we're going to do is we're going to read 3 questions, and you guys are going to answer them. 1, answer. 2, answer. 3, answer. And after each one, push enter so it can become part of a conversation instead of like waiting for you to answer all 3, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to write that one more time. Patrick says, nothing ages you more than waiting for life to happen. Wow. That's awesome. Okay. So let us go over here, and I have to open up dear old chat GPT because I had them write my lightning round questions as I always do, because I want to answer them candidly and quickly the way that you're going to. So here are the top three, the first three. So the first three questions are: one, what's something silly you loved doing as a kid? Oh, I feel like we've done this before. And here's what's fascinating is I was thinking about that on my walk today. I was like, wow, we've been doing this lightning round questions for over a year, I think. And I'm sure we're kind of repeating questions. But what's neat is like our answers are probably changing depending on like what memory pops up for us in that moment. So if you have a really good memory or you like going and researching things, it would be interesting to go back to other episodes to see the same questions and see how everybody answered them and if they did change, because it doesn't mean that you're lying. It just means that you're feeling different in that moment, and that's what you're answering. So anyway, number one was, what's something silly that you loved doing as a kid? Number two is, last time you belly laughed. Okay. And then number three is, if you had a free hour today, what kid-like thing would you do? Ooh, for an hour? Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so let's see here what we've got going on. So and Patrick says, I'm too old to remember all three questions. Not true. Best memory in the world. But you are very lucky because Britt writes them down. So Britt says, something silly you loved as a kid, number one. Number two is, the last time that you belly laughed. And number three, just in case you didn't get it, Britt, was, if you had a free hour today, what kid-like thing would you do? Okay, there we go. So we just wrote that. So here we go. Let us go and answer those questions. I'm going to answer the first one for me, and then you guys can answer. So something silly that you loved as a kid. I don't know. What did I love that was kind of silly? I don't even know if this was silly, but I really did love it. And actually, I don't even like admitting it because it's just so mean. But I love burning things with a magnifying glass in the summer. So, like that trick that you can like burn leaves, but I would like burn ants and like different like bugs and stuff. I was always fascinated about too, like what bugs look like on the inside. So oh gosh, yeah, that's not a nice thing as a kid to do, I guess. But like lightning bugs, I love like smashing them and then looking at them like glow on my hand. And like, anyway, so that's something silly. Not something I would do for an hour if I had the time right now, but Pop says, pushing my parents' boundaries. That was silly, and you loved it. And then number two, this little up and down thing doesn't work really. Last time you belly laughed, Pop says he doesn't remember. Oh, well then, Mel, you've got to change that. You guys have to go and like watch something or do something that just makes you laugh. I'm going to tell you something that like usually works really well for me is to watch children laugh. And like it becomes contagious. And so if you just listen to like it on repeat and just watch put it into YouTube and put like baby laughing and just keep watching it, for some reason that will just like get me laughing. So you could try that. Patrick says, slip and slide. Oh yeah, that was fun. That was really fun. I actually think I just saw a video where there was a grown-up slip and slide that people were doing. And I think it was like would it make sense that it was like a baseball game or something that they played, but it was like slip and slide to the bases? It was this big like square. It looked really cool. Okay, and then for me, last time you belly laughed, I don't know. I mean, it was in the last couple of days. I know that for sure because I can feel it. But I don't remember exactly what the context was or what I was doing, but it was probably with Mike. Mike and I laugh a lot. And yeah, here's another trick, you guys. Sometimes when we're laughing, like we get self-conscious about like the way we sound, or is this appropriate, or like we get in our heads, which is interesting. But if you, instead of getting in your head, really get into the laughter and just allow yourself to keep laughing, it will become deeper for you, and you'll just like start letting go. So it might even feel fake in the beginning, and that's okay too. But then you'll start like getting in where you're just like, you don't care if you're laughing out loud in public anymore. So try that. Okay. Do. Pop says, okay, so he answered number 3, and he said that if I have more than a few hours a day, and the most, I do have more than a few hours a day, and the most useful thing I do is to sit outside and watch the birds and clouds. That's awesome. You told me that before, in the show. Oh, sorry, this this table is a little bit dicey. Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. Oh my gosh, look who it is. Hello, Jason. Hey. So question number 1, he says, making paper planes with my grandmother's Post-it notes. Oh, that's so awesome. Actually, this is what I love about this part of the show. Because then it makes me remember things. Did you guys ever make those like do where it was like this origami thing that you would have like, okay, so here's the number 4, and then you do this, and it's like you had another question, and then you would like find out the final answer. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And it was like there'd be like the 4 answers on the top. I think it was like numbers, and then you would pick a number, and then you'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'd have to pick like one of these, and then they would flip up. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Anyway, Jason, that just brought me back a really fun little memory. And welcome to the show. So Patrick says, when Lions fans think they're going to the Super Bowl. That's so mean. We were so close last year. That's so mean. Pop says, yes. Oh, probably about I'm hoping that you're saying, yes, that is really awesome about you sitting outside, and that you have told me that before, and you are not also making us fun of us. Jason, are you saying yes? Oh, you remember what I'm talking about this, right? You are also not making fun of us Lions fans. And then Patrick says, for number 3, watch Robin Williams comedy routines. That's really cool. If you had an extra hour. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Really, really cool. Jason says you'd have colors on the top and numbers inside. Okay, awesome memory. You know exactly what I'm talking about then. Yeah, that was super fun. Oh, right. Okay. You'd spell the color and then pick a number. Right. RED. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. No. So you would do like RED, and then you would pick the number that it came up. Oh, that was awesome. Thank you, Jason. Flashback time. That's awesome. No, you weren't. Oh man. What were we talking about? And Pop says, yes, the origami thing. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, that's super cool. So, you guys, did everybody answer all 3 questions? For me, I think I missed the what would I do if I had an hour? What youthful thing would I do for an entire hour? Do you know what? Something that I've been wanting to like bring back is I have one of those big bins of Legos, and I had it when I was living at my parents', I had it in my closet there. And every now and then I would bring it out and I would just make something just for the fun of it. And I left it there. I never brought it back. Like when I moved out, I never brought it with me. Uh, and so I've been thinking about that the last few weeks for some reason. And I think I'm going to do that this weekend. I think I'm going to go and get that box, and I would think I would spend an hour just creating something. Yes. Okay, so Patrick says called paper fortune tellers. Right. Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, that was awesome. And he says you weren't close to winning. Well, closer than we've been in a very long time. From what I remember. I don't know. Ask Mike. I don't know. So anyway, it felt very like exciting. I don't really care too much about sports, but I do remember that it was very exciting. Okay, you guys. So I think we're here. Actually, we can do one more question if you guys want. Let's do one more. So, okay, fun thing. Oh, okay. Are you guys gonna be able to answer this in typing? I feel like you should send me a video, but the question is your go-to dance move when no one's watching. Um, so if you can describe that, describe it to me. If not, you can do a video and then you can post it and tag me on social media or in the circle or wherever you are. So something that I've been starting to do, especially in my long runs, not my long runs, you know that I don't run, so my long walks, um, this move. Oh, the Running Man, that was a good one. Yes, that was awesome. So do you actually do that when nobody's watching? That's really, really cool. That was a good one. So this, where I think I'm like, I've always wanted to be able to do like, that like beatboxing, like, or whatever it was, where they could like move like this arm and then it would like go to this arm and then go out. When I'm walking, for some reason, I need to pay attention. It must be when a certain song is coming on, but I'll be like walking and then I'll be like, "Ooh, like that," and then realize I'm on the trail. It just looks funny. Patrick Patrick says the Carlton. That was a good one. You definitely have to send me a video of that. And Jason says the Saturday Night Fever dance. Awesome. Point up to the left and down to the right, or vice versa. Yeah, that's awesome. Like this, right? I just saw a video where this guy was dancing with his two sons, and one of the sons were like jamming out and kept doing that move. I just saw that yesterday. That's so funny. Okay, that's awesome. And when you first said it, now I know what you're talking about, the Saturday Night Fever, the John Travolta one. But at first I thought you were thinking about, what was that one on Saturday Night Live where they're like this? Do you know what I'm talking about? Chris Kattan, I think, was one of them, and then Will Ferrell, and they did that while they were in the nightclubs all the time. So that is what I'm picturing for you, Jason. Anyway, here we are. It is the end of another episode. I love you guys so, so much. So we will be meeting back here on Wednesday. The next show is Wednesday, September the 3rd. Already we're in September. And I haven't decided what I want the theme to be. If you guys have any ideas of what you want the theme to be for next month, you let me know. We'll do a series around it. I know that for book club, what we are going to be doing is the power of now. And so it's really being in the moment. And so that might be what we'll do for the theme, possibly. Oh man, the lights just went out and oh shoot. I'm trying to get the attention because they're like censored. So, but it's not working and I'm tucked behind a table. So anyway, yes, Patrick says Night at the Roxbury. That was absolutely what I was trying to imitate. And then Pop says, I thought the Saturday Night Live one too. That's awesome. Jason says, you're thinking of Night at the Roxbury characters from SNL. I am. And I'm now thinking that you're part of that, Jason. So, okay, you guys, this was so fun. I absolutely love when you guys are here and this active. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you next week, and bring a friend, tell everybody about it. And it's so funny. I was talking to somebody about the podcast and like, oh, wow, that's awesome. I didn't know you do a podcast. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, wow, do you have a lot of followers? And I was like, yes, there are always at least 3 people. And I was like, sometimes just 1. I was so excited. It was like, there's always somebody here. I think maybe we've done like 87 episodes. So we've been doing this for well over a year and a half. And I think there might have been one episode when there was nobody here. And I think it was maybe because I showed up late or something. I don't know. So I really am grateful that you guys are here because you make it fun. So I love you, love you, love you. I will see you next week. Pop says have a great week. I hope you guys all have a happy, healthy week. Focus on your pillars. And I will see you in September. Bye.